Hey guys, I'm Megan Ryan and welcome back to Making the Cut. So it is 1 week from my Arkansas trip. So today we're going to make a t-shirt, but I'm going to be layering some different colors of vinyl. So that's always something as a new Cricut person, trying to figure out how to take heat transfer vinyl and being able to put it on without ruining your design. So some beginner mistakes. Some people try to get it one color at a time. So the problem with that is when you put on the first color and then you go to overlay the second color and you put down your heat press, you're actually going to burn your first color. So I'm going to show you some easy tricks so that you can have it all laid out, press it one time. Actually, I had to press mine 3 times because it's such a large file, but you're going to press it one time and have all the colors work, be where they're supposed to be, and it's very easy to move around without totally destroying your masterpiece that you're doing. So I want to go ahead and do that. I'm also going to show you how to use templates in Design Space. So that's always something that's very helpful when you're doing t-shirts especially, but they've got all kinds of different different templates on there. So I wanted to show y'all how to use those as well. So let's start. Okay, so let's start making the cut. I'm going to go to my images and I'm going to type in America. So we have all these awesome images. I know I say this every time. If you don't have Cricut Access, you need Cricut Access. It's amazing. I pay a one-time monthly fee and then I get all of these every chance I get, everything I need. So I am looking for something that just speaks to me. I love the writing on, oh, I like this one. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this one, add to canvas. All right, I got it on here. I'm gonna go to my templates. So look at all the templates on here. We have aprons, baseball jerseys, bibs, polos. I'm gonna use the classic t-shirt. This gives me a front and back. I'm gonna come up here and choose my style. And then I'm gonna change the size. And then now, look how easy it is for me to adjust my image so that it fits exactly the way I want it on my shirt. So now I can get that perfect size that I was looking for. So now all I have to do is look at that. I'm gonna click Make It. Because I'm using heat transfer vinyl, I need to mirror every single one of my mats here. So I'm just gonna go here, make sure they all say mirror. And you see how it's got a mat for each color. All right, we're gonna continue. So I have the file, I am gonna start weeding it out. So when you are layering the different vinyls, I want to start with my biggest one, and I'm gonna leave it just the way it is. But notice that on all these other pieces, I've trimmed them up so that the plastic is not covering the other heat transfer vinyls. So if it overlays a little bit, that's fine because I'm gonna show you how to fix that here in a second. So I'm just examining it. I wasn't happy with this one here. Takes a couple of times sometimes to get it exactly the way you want it. And that's okay. You just keep working with it until it's the way you like it. So now I'm going to use an X-Acto knife and I'm just going to cut any of the plastic, not the vinyl, but any of that clear plastic that might be overlaying one of the other vinyls. If you don't do this, then you're going to actually press that vinyl onto the plastic instead of the shirt. Okay, so now that we have our file all ready to go, I've got my shirt, so here's my file. I've got my shirt on my heat press and I'm going to go ahead and press it once just to get out any of the wrinkles. So I'm gonna scoot that in there. The fabric that I'm using is 95% rayon and 5% spandex. So anytime you're using materials like spandex and rayon, you want to make sure you have a lower temperature on your heat press. So normally I press cottons and polyesters at 400 degrees. For this one, I'm doing 240 degrees. So I'm still gonna do 30 seconds, but 240 degrees will keep you from burning the material. So you can actually get like little brown singe lines in this where the spandex material is if you're not careful on it. Sorry, tongue twisted today. So I'm gonna go ahead and press it for just a couple of seconds. I'm just gonna put it down. And I'm gonna leave it like this just for a moment because I'm just getting wrinkles out of it. I'm not trying to put any fabric on there for permanent use. Okay, so it's a little warm. I'm gonna scoot it out a little bit. Let me move this around here. All right, so I have my blank slate here. I'm going to put my file on there. And it's a little bit larger than my press is gonna initially be able to do, so I'll probably press it a couple of times. I'm gonna make sure we're all lined up here. So I like to compare both sides. I am not a perfectionist about this, you know. I'm not selling these, so it's just a matter of where I like it. But I did want to scoot that over just a smidge. All right, so I have everything nice and smoothed out. The great thing about heat transfer vinyl, I keep shaking my camera, sorry. The great thing about heat transfer vinyl is it's already sticky on the clear part. So it sticks really well to the fabric without having to use any of the heat transfer tape. So normally, like when I'm sublimating, I take heat transfer tape and I tape the entire thing down. Don't have to do that with HTV. So we're gonna go ahead and push it back in there. Press it down and press start. So 30 seconds does a really good job. I will need to wait for it to cool before I officially peel everything off. Because if you peel it off too soon, it'll start peeling that vinyl off the fabric as well. So you don't want any of that. So let it cool. It doesn't have to be completely cold, but a nice cool to the touch feeling, and then I can rip the whole thing off. I'm probably gonna check it just a little bit to make sure that there's not some places that didn't get as much heat on them. Mainly concerned about the outsides. I love my heat press, but it does tend to be warmer in the middle than it is on the outsides. So I always like to check that and make sure. All right, so we're gonna pull it out here. And I'm just doing a quick little check. You can tell when it is attached to the fabric well and when it's not. So like right here, I can tell it looks a different color than some of the other fabrics. So I wanna make sure that I hit that again. So what I'm gonna do this time, so I'm still gonna do the 30 seconds, but I'm going to leave my plate out a little bit so that that edge gets underneath the middle of my heat press, just to make sure. So, and I'm just gonna push it down like this. I'm not going to push it all the way down because it is uneven and I'd be afraid I'd break it. So I'm just gonna put some pressure on it manually just for a couple of seconds and lift it back up. Check this side. Yeah, see, this side's not attached at all. So I'm going to scoot him over. So that it's more aligned. And we're gonna try that again. So push the whole thing in. Whoops, got caught on something. All right, push the whole thing in. And do 30 more seconds. So you always want to make sure that you spot check it like that. If you just go to pull the whole thing off, you notice there's a couple little parts that aren't ready, then it's going to ruin your whole project. So always check before you peel off to make sure everything's nice and stuck. So we are making matching outfits for me and my two daughters for when we go on our vacation to Arkansas this year. So I'm really excited. I've already gotten one down. This is the second one, and then we'll get a third one in there as well. So we always like to have matching outfits for our trip to Arkansas. All right, that looks a lot better there. Let's see down here. Okay, that one looks better. Okay, so I'm gonna check up at the top here. It looks all right. I think everything is going to be good. Let me check this other side real quick before I officially try to rip things off. Nope, that side's not done, so we're gonna do this side again. It was not good enough for me to just stick it half down, so we'll try that. Okay, 30 more seconds. So I apologize, every time I put my press down it shakes all of my stuff. I'm essentially working on plywood right now until we can get everything situated, so bear with me as it gets all shaken around. So this is looking okay. That one's still not attached, so we're gonna have to give it some more time. So I think I might actually turn it the other direction and press it a fourth time just to make sure, because these edges, it's such a big cut file. Normally when I'm doing these, I'm doing something much smaller and don't run into these issues as much. So let's try this again. I like to put it on this part and then put it under there, because then I can get it all spread out and try to prevent as many wrinkles as I can before I put it in there, because otherwise I might burn myself. It's very hot. Okay. I'll check down here and see if this part's attached. That one's good. That one's good. Okay, so I'm only worried about these outer corners of the rainbow. All right. Let's stick him in there. All ready to go. Push it in. Sometimes it gets snagged on that, so I'll try that again. Alrighty, 30 more seconds. This should give me a good seal on it. So, like I was saying, we're working on these. This is actually a mini dress instead of a t-shirt. We like longer shirts, shorter dresses to go with leggings during the summer. So we've got some cute little leggings, and it's gonna match this so well. So I'm excited. It's always fun to have cute little things for when you're going on trips, special little things. You can do this with a Disney trip or anything like that. Being able to layer those different colors is gonna save you a lot of time. All right, this time we got it. That looks great. All right, so I'm gonna pull him off and we're gonna let him cool. Doesn't take too long for it to cool. So I'm just gonna turn that off while I'm thinking about it so I don't forget. And we can go ahead and take out the paper that I put inside. I always put some kind of cardstock or something inside the design because that's going to prevent anything from seeping through. So sometimes when you do a vinyl, it'll want to stick to the other fabric on the other side. Not all the time, but I have had a lot better success when I put something in between there. So I've got my design here. It's cool to the touch. So I'm gonna slowly start ripping it off, just to make sure everything is staying where it's supposed to be. Because at this point I can still save it if it's not fully attached. I can still put this right back on there and press it again if I needed to. So always take your time when you're peeling the vinyls off to make sure it's exactly the way you want it. It's kind of satisfying to just watch it come off the plastic there. So it is looking nice. Alrighty. And the last little parts here. Make sure it all looks good. All right. So there we have it. Marca. So I hope y'all have fun with this project. We will see you next time. But until then, keep on making.